So now that we've kind of talked about the groove and how that's an essential part of my playing and my songwriting, and how it also comes across in the riffs and the vibe that we put down, I'm going to show you the riff for Crucify Yourself. And obviously there's nothing really difficult about the riff, but where the magic happens is in the pocket and where you play it. So I'm going to go ahead and use the click track and kind of show you how I play it and where that pocket and that magic is. 1, 2, 3, behind the beat. There's a couple of parts of that are really essential. Bending chords is something that really, like a singer, vibrato is very important, and it's kind of a means of expression, and so is in guitar playing. So, you know, obviously the riff is kind of once again, I'm all about the 16th note, and the song's got a cool shuffle swing to it. But the cool part about it is the bend on there, and making sure the chord bends together so you don't end up with the out of tune sound. The whole chord bends together. You know, which goes back to all of the classic players, whether it be Randy Rhoads or whether it's Zakk Wylde, or you know, all the Ozzy guitar players in particular. You hear them all the time, the I Don't Know riff. It's that's where it happens, man. That's where the magic is. That's where people go, man, that, you know, because playing it, I mean, that doesn't say anything, and that's our job, is to be expressive and convey attitude. Or if it's a melancholy song, you want to try to give it a sad overtone, and there's ways to do that, and it's all in the vibrato. I mean, it really is. It doesn't matter how many notes you can play; it matters how much you can bend one note. The other component of this song is my alternate picking. A lot of guys, if you listen to Metallica or Slayer, they're big time down pickers. So, and I'm an alternate picker, and I think that's another place where the groove comes from for me, is the swing. And I'll just sit there for hours working on pulsing with them on the beat and behind the beat. So that's a big component of this riff, is that constant feel. Once again, there's that tambourine. It's that imaginary tambourine in your head, and that's where it happens. So I'm keeping the, and in between every chord, so every chord I'm playing off the low string. That's where the chunk is in the 16th. You know, and you can play it obviously bar chord, or you can, which is obviously cool. I have a tendency to try to do both. So if I'm playing maybe the first time around, I give it the just so that it, you know, gives it a little bit more life. It doesn't sound like it's a computer loop of the same riff over and over again. And it just, that's all it is metronome hours of practicing, you know, and speeding it up and speeding it up and then slowing it way down, because it's a lot harder to play. I mean, literally I could take this and go, you know, and it's important to practice those things, but it even becomes harder when you slow the riff down. Hear me get behind it? So I would encourage you not to just work on speed, but also in making it even slower, because whether you know it or not, you know, a lot of people are very wowed by fast drumming and fast guitar playing, but there's something to be said for playing something really slow, because obviously if you're playing something like that, you're playing, you know, eighth notes, bum 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 bum. There's space, and every note has a value, and if you rush one note over the other, you've choked that note out of its value. You've rushed this next beat, and that's where you start to lose that. So I practice playing really slow in order to, you know, find that pocket. And riffs like Crucify Yourself is a perfect example of how a kind of a slow riff can be so heavy when you stick it back there in that pocket. And you know, and then obviously when you play it live and you see everybody's head, you know, and the fist in the air, and that's the you know, and Pantera, you know, made a living of it, doing the, you know, just their riffs and the grooves. It's you know, I suggest you really spend some time on that.